West Road, which is controlled by a stop sign.
But
Yes.
we cannot confirm that the van didn't stop at the stop. Can we say ourselves on there that the van didn't stop?
No, we can't say that at this point. All we have is that the van is in the intersection where I guess it shouldn't have been.
Putting you on the spot, you know that the owner of the truck that basically T-boned the minivan is saying that some of you guys, some of the OPP, have told them that the driver of that minivan did actually jump the stop. I don't want to put you on the spot.
Okay, no, I'm not
saying right now.
I'm not versed to say anything about that. No.
Can we hear what the impact of having to deal with a tragedy like this has on first responders, EMS, I guess fire must have been there first. I mean, it's got to be pretty devastating.
Sure, Bill, when you go first.
Sure, I'll comment on that. Having been a police officer for over 25 years, having seen some tragic accidents, collisions, and other events, personally, if I don't need to see anything at the scene, when I come to a scene like yesterday, I saw some of the images, but I try not to look too much, just as a personal preservation technique. It's something through the years. I can still picture every deceased individual. I still remember the images. So it's something that that I really feel for the fire department, which was there, and these fellows had to be right there and do the moving and the pulling and the trying extrication. I feel for these guys.
Bill, maybe you.
Yeah, it was a very trying scene yesterday, but definitely I'm very proud of the way that the Shakespeare Station firefighters performed. It was a difficult extrication, and they did a fantastic job. Did the best that they could do.
Were you there right off the bat?
Yes, I was just a few minutes behind the first trucks. Yes.
Chief, are those firefighters just volunteer firefighters?
Yes, it's
and do they have services available for them too?
Yes, it's a volunteer station, and we have actually we made contact with Victim Services last night and made arrangements for some critical incident stress debriefing for them.
Describe the scene that
One at a time, please. Sorry. Go ahead.
Can you describe the scene that you and the other first responders came upon last night?
It was like Kay said. It's certainly something that no one ever expects to see something that much carnage. It was definitely a terrible scene. I've never seen that much damage in a motor vehicle collision before.
Over here, someone had a question?
It was pretty much the same.
Okay.
I mean, how do the firefighters go?
We have firefighters are pretty tight-knit group of people, so they will deal with it amongst themselves. But we do bring in the experts to help them. They've seen a lot, and we're going to do our best to help them through this. Everybody copes in a different manner. So it's not a one-size-fits-all fix after seeing something like that.
What about the impact on you personally, Chief?
It was, like I said, I'm definitely extremely proud of the way that they operated and conducted themselves. Like I said, it's not anything that you really can be prepared to attend to. So I'm extremely proud of that station. They did a great job.
Chief, without divulging any state secrets, we understand that you guys had some difficulties when you got there. You had to cut safety belts and stuff like that. Can you walk us through what you guys had to do to kind of take care of the whole thing?
At this, I'm not really gonna get into details. It was a very difficult extrication, but like I said, Shakespeare Station, unfortunately they have a lot of experience doing extrication because of the area that we're in, but they are very talented, and they did an extremely good job.
About the 3 persons who survived, can we say if they were still inside? Were they ejected? Any explanation that you guys can see?
Yeah, I couldn't comment on that.
So you were the first one on site, the firefighters? I mean, the firefighter, not necessarily you, but the firefighters?
Fire and EMS arrived almost simultaneously.
We understand that there was one person who was conscious, who was in the vehicle. Did you see any of that?
No, I did not.
Was it true that there was some problem because they were speaking Spanish with the communication with the people that were injured?
I wasn't aware of that at the time, no.
Have there been a lot of serious collisions in the area?
Nothing of that magnitude, but definitely that area, we seem to get quite a few collisions.
How many? Why do you think that is?
Pardon me?
Why do you think that is?
I'm not 100% sure. Weather conditions, drivers, there's all kinds of different reasons why. It's just seems to be a lot of collisions for that station. And when I say for that area, it's a fire station, so normally we do fires. But that station seems to do a lot more collision type responses.
How many
additional questions?
firefighters?
To get a grip on as to what happened and like the continuum of what happened, were all the deceased dead when you arrived, or did some deceased at the site, or did some pass away at the hospital? What can you tell us about
The information that I have was that 5 of them had deceased prior to or once the paramedics were there, and then the remaining individuals passed away as the paramedics were there.
So on site, they weren't even transported?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. And that's common for car accidents, for that to happen.
What can you tell us about those 3 people who survived, their condition when your crews arrived?
I can't give you any of those details. What I can tell you is that they were transported on a critical basis. 2 of them went to Stratford. One was transferred last night to London. And the one that was taken by air ambulance went to Hamilton. Other than that, I can't divulge the actual injuries.
Can you confirm, though, whether or not any of them were able to speak at that point?
I believe so, and the reason I say that is that one of the difficulties that the crews had at the time was communication. It was a language barrier, and a variation of Spanish or Mexican. I really couldn't say what the language was, but that was what they were using to try to communicate. And it was a very stilted way of doing that, because they need to be able to assess the patient, and part of that is a verbal assessment, and they had difficulty with that.
Do you guys have Spanish speakers on hand amongst yourselves?
Not amongst our staff, so I don't know who actually was helping with that.
But do you know
I
if it
can't
was-
speak to that.
Do you know if it was Spanish or
No, I
a
don't.
dialect from Peru, like Quechua or something?
No, I don't know that, and the crews didn't know either, but that's what they were using to rely on.
Do we know
So
if
it
the
could have
driver of
been-
the van is one of the survivors?
No, I believe not.
Additional
The
questions?
impact
Oh,
on-
so I'm sorry.
The driver of the
I
van.
I don't know that. I was thinking you were talking about the truck. I'm sorry, I do not know that.
How many of them were women and men?
I don't know. I don't have that information.
Now, the OPP official
think we got-
referred to it as a miracle that anyone survived. How would you term it? What was it like for you, knowing that 3 people are still alive from that?
From the reports that I got from my staff, I believe that, yes, it is a miracle. There were carnage, and there were a lot of people within that minivan, and the firefighters were pulling them out. And it was one after the other, and one would come and then another would come. And so it was difficult for staff, for paramedics and for firefighters and for the OPP that were responding.
Maybe one more question?
Would seatbelts have made a difference at all, whether they were wearing them?
I can't speak to that. I don't know how many were wearing them and how many weren't at the time.
All right, well, thank you very much.